Hello, everybody. My name is Ryan Koki of the Seahawks Recap Show, and welcome back to another News of the Week episode. I hope you all are staying safe and sound and enjoying the nice summer weather. And we've got a lot of news to talk about today, mostly revolving some signings and things like that. So, without me rambling on too much more in the intro, if you like this video, please consider giving it a like as it helps out the channel more than you will know. And if you'd like to see any more future content from this channel, Seahawks related or just NFL related in general, please consider subscribing. That would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let's get into this news of the week episode. And I named it Getting Back to Work because NFL teams are now starting to get some contracts underway for next season. The first thing I wanted to discuss on today's episode was Nico Collins getting extended by the Houston Texans. According to Tom Pelissero, the Houston Texans have signed wide receiver Nico Collins to a $72 million deal for the next 3 years. And I actually really like this deal for both parties involved because people were saying that this might be a bit of an overpay, but considering how much Nico Collins has done over the last year with CJ Stroud, he was CJ Stroud's number one target after Tank Dell went down with injury, and he did a fantastic job. And I really am not surprised that Nico Collins got this type of money because for a number two wide receiver, I think this is about market value nowadays. Remember, this is not only a pass heavy league in the NFL, and it's been like that for the past multiple years, but also Nico Collins had a breakout season, and also he was in a contract year, 15 games played, 80 receptions, 1,297 yards, averaged 16.2 yards per reception, and had 8 touchdowns. That is a very solid year from Nico Collins, and I think he deserves the amount of money that he's being paid right now because watching him from an outside perspective, watching him as a neutral observer, I'm not a Texans fan, I'm a Seahawks fan. Watching him in the playoffs this year, he did exceptionally well, and seeing what he did in the regular season a bit was great to see. I think he is a very good wide receiver, and in a contract year, when you do well, you get paid, and he did get paid here. And now with Stephon Diggs on the roster, Nico Collins fits in there nicely, and Tank Dell is also there. So I would watch out for this wide receiver core on the Texans because I'm uh, I'm really interested to see how this Houston Texans team will move forward in the future. Good on Nico Collins for getting the extension that I believe he truly deserves, and a lot of Texans fans that I've spoken to think he deserves it as well. The next thing I wanted to talk about on today's episode was a pretty exciting thing, and it's Tarik Cohen back in the NFL. According to Adam Schefter, the Jets are signing running back Tarik Cohen to a 1 year deal. And I'm actually really happy to see Tarik Cohen back in the NFL. He was not only a beast in the special teams department when it came to punt returns for the Bears, but he was a terrific player throughout his 4 year career with the Bears. Sadly, his injury in 2020 derailed his career, and he hasn't played on an NFL field since. However, to see him come back into the NFL this season, I just hope he can stay healthy and prove to everyone that he's still got some life in his career and deserves another shot. If you know me and if you know this channel, you know that in these news of the week episodes, I've talked about injuries and how I hate seeing players have their careers derailed by injuries because it sucks. Seeing guys not reach their full potential because of injuries just sucks. As an NFL fan in general, that's just something I don't like to see. So when I was hearing about this news about Tarik Cohen coming back, I think most NFL fans most NFL fans that I saw online were really rooting for him, and I'm rooting for him as well because I just think this would be an amazing story for Tarik Cohen coming back after 4 years and seeing if he can perform well because I really want that for him. And going back into his career, looking at his stats to prepare for this episode, I was looking at it, and he was honestly really. He was better than I even remember coming from the Bears. You know, he has 1,000 yards in his career for rushing, and he was great in the wide receiver department. Like he was playing backfield minutes, and he was doing really well in the receiving department as well. So he's a very cool dual threat kind of running back, and I wish him all the best in trying to resurrect his career that was cut short by injuries. Next up, let's talk about one of the most exciting news items on today's episode. It is the Dolphins extending Jaylen Waddle. According to Adam Schefter, the Dolphins have signed wide receiver Jaylen Waddle to an $84.75 million contract extension for the next 3 years. 76 million of that is guaranteed. This deal makes Waddle one of the league's top five highest paid wide receivers. And overall, I think this is about right for the amount of money that Jaylen Waddle deserves. I know that Jaylen Waddle is a number two wide receiver in Miami. However, with the numbers that he's put up in his short time in the NFL, I believe that Jaylen Waddle is being paid like a number one wide receiver because he would be one on any one of the other 31 NFL teams at this point in his career. I think he's just that good. And this is going to be very interesting now over the next couple of weeks because now that Jaylen Waddle's been paid, we're still waiting for guys like Justin Jefferson. We're still waiting for guys like T. Higgins. We're still waiting for guys like Brendan Ayuk. We're still waiting for guys like Jamar Chase, who could also get paid this offseason and need to get paid this offseason. So I think this is the first big domino to fall. And now this is the benchmark that wide receivers that are top talent will be looking at. And just for people that are thinking that Jaylen Waddle doesn't deserve this amount of money, man, he's done excellent. His entire career, he has not dipped below 1,000 yards. He's done exceptionally well. And he's on a team with Tyreek Hill on it. Tyreek Hill is a freak of nature. And that's why I said he's being paid like a number one wide receiver, Jaylen Waddle, because if Tyreek Hill was not on the Dolphins, he would be the number one wide receiver for the Dolphins. So I really like this deal for Jaylen Waddle, and I hope he can live up to the expectations from this Dolphins organization. And if anything, I think he'll really enjoy this contract and prove to the Dolphins organization that this was the right move for them going forward. The final thing I wanted to talk about on the show today was Gable Steveson signing with Buffalo. According to Adam Schefter, Gable Steveson is signing a standard 3-year rookie contract with the Buffalo Bills to play at DT. And honestly, I don't really know what to make of this. When I heard the news that a former gold medal Olympian would be joining into the NFL, I honestly thought this was a really cool thing to see. I think it's honestly really cool that we get to see an Olympic gold medalist join the NFL. Stevenson is only the second ever Olympic gold medalist to join the NFL alongside Bob Haynes. In college, Stevenson was one of the most dominant college wrestlers in NCAA history. So I'm actually really curious how his wrestling skill set will translate into the NFL. And when I was reading the quote that was given by Adam Schefter about Stevenson was talking, he was very appreciative of the Bills for giving him this opportunity. And He's been in the WWE before from 2020 to 2024, and now he's transitioning into the NFL. And we'll see how this works because the 6'1", 275 pound, that kind of fits the bill for a DT or a D lineman in general. And I hope he gets a shot for the Bills roster, but we'll just have to wait and see. Anyways, that is it for this episode of News of the Week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Go Hawks, go, and take care.